Aloha! Today we're going to be going over a footwork pattern that was inspired to me by a guy named RyooZ. This guy is one of the illest b-boys that I've ever met from Japan, who seldom gets the shine that he deserves. I was really inspired by his overall artistry, and especially one of his footwork texts that inspired me to create this pattern. I don't really have a great name when it comes to this move, but I definitely have a memory that I name it by. After I met up with this guy, I went to a 7-Eleven and had a mentaiko musubi. For those of you guys who have never been to Japan or had a musubi, this onigiri was shaped kind of like a crescent rounded triangle. The movement itself revolves around this ninja Musubi shape. So whenever I need to recall this movement, I think of being hungry. Not just to battle or to get down, but hungry to eat. Like a musubi. We're gonna start from our base extended position. Again, make sure that your knee is pushed out and elongated from the hips. Your lower back should feel engaged. The first step of this footwork pattern is to step over like we're doing a ninja. The second step of this pattern is to release our extended leg and pivot on the ball of our foot, kicking away from us. From step 1 into 2, it would look like 1, 2. On the other side, that would look like 1, 2. Notice that we need to make sure that our hip is mobile enough to make this circle. So, step 1, pivot, pull in, and kick for step 2. Now step 3 is a little interesting because we're going to be taking this leg all the way out here and rotating over the top of our other leg, not to a high chair, but to an extended ninja position. From here, when we alternate arms, we can get back to our original position on the opposite side for step 1. For step 2, we would pivot and kick, and we would return that leg over. Now notice this movement cannot really be done that slowly. It takes a little bit of momentum, and you're going to feel like you're shrugging or pushing through your shoulders. We're gonna go slow from a side angle. That's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. For the third step, make sure that you're swinging your hips and pushing from your shoulders so that you can get your angle going from the back all the way to the front. So once again, step 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Notice that in this case, I'm actually going to be cutting an angle between my shoulders and my hips. That's this window right here. So from our kick, I need to swing and toss my hips all the way across my body. Once again, big shout out and huge respect to the homie b-boy RyooZ. We're gonna be accessing this movement from a group move or choreography combo. We're gonna start first from a CC on both sides. When we return our second CC leg, we're gonna just be tossing our arms for what's called an underlap, twice. Now for the third toss, we are going to be tossing and stepping in and up to our ninja freeze. From here, we can access this pattern going twice as well. We're gonna be going CC, CC, underlap, underlap, ninja freeze, straight into our mentaiko musubi footwork pattern. So all together, that's gonna look like 1, 2, arms, 1, 2, ninja, pivot, pivot. A little bit faster, that's gonna look like try it at a pace that best suits you. Application is key when it comes down to fully grasping whatever it is that you're learning, as well as finding out creative ways to use whatever you got. When you try to use what you've been working on, you're not only practicing that movement, but you're also exercising your own creative process through trial and error. Try to throw out a couple of freestyles using this move that we just covered. Practice freestyling into and out of that step. Otherwise, do your best to try to play around with this movement and make it an effective part of your vocabulary and how you interpret the music. Don't forget to practice this until it's something that you can understand enough to flip, digest, or recreate something unique to you. Consider creatively challenging yourself in a number of ways. Applying a character or a demeanor that adds texture to the quality of the movement. Adding fragments of this movement conceptually or physically to another movement. You could reverse the movement, you could invert the movement, or turn it upside down. You could change the height or the level of the movement. You could connect it into or out of less related movements. You could change the body parts involved in completing the movement. You could do it one-handed. You could do it one-legged. You could use this movement in a different space or a different environment. If you learned how to do something on hardwood, try to do it on concrete. Or you could simply listen to new music that demands a reimagining of these movements altogether. Ultimately, remember that true wealth isn't about how much you got. It's about how much you do with what you got. It's not just what you do, it's how you're gonna do it.